Oh, it's contact. There's contact. And there's contact between Sharon Powell and Campbell Pilling. So some of the DRS 62s just preparing themselves for their 10 minutes of qualifying. Certainly track temperature will be improving as well. We've started to see the first glimpses of sunshine today. I would imagine just as the time ticks round and the temperature increases, it gives slightly different challenges to the drivers and the mechanics to get the setup absolutely right for what is a fairly abrasive, fairly bumpy surface here at Wilton Mill. Certainly the section around the boot and pit corner. Remember those two real key areas for track limits as well, so Christmas Corner and Ashby. The start-finish line as well, there's a little bit of a requirement for the drivers to be aware of the track limits. As they cross start-finish line here, they dive to the left and then they go right through Crook and up the longest straight of this Wilton Mill circuit, right up towards Christmas Corner. And then from there, it's pretty much all downhill for the remainder of the lap. So the DRS 62s, the youngest of our drivers here this weekend. And provided us with some high quality, close racing at Clay Pigeon 3 weeks ago. The output of that was that we had our first scores on the board for these drivers who will amass championship points in the qualifying sessions. They'll amass them in the heat, the pre-final and the final, the grand final this afternoon. And each driver will get to drop their worst scores throughout the year, so they'll get to drop one of each, if you like. If you look at the championship table for the DRS 62s, Oscar Walsh is the early pace setter, a 9-point advantage over Ewan Scott, and Jack Robinson is a further about 31 points behind him, but with 130 points available for a win in the grand final, there's plenty of opportunity to close in, certainly reduce those gaps between the different rounds. Benjamin Baker 4th in the championship, Matt Johnston 5th in the championship. Just seeing the 1-2-4 of Dorian Malek just come onto the circuit. They're pretty much all out there now, I think. We've just seen Jack Robinson, and the last one to enter the circuit was Harley Drake. But I think, just from looking down from our commentary position, that all of the DRS 62 drivers are on circuit. The first one to put a time in will certainly be Oscar Walsh, because he was the first one out onto circuit with a bit of clean air in front of him as well. So we'll get a decent indication in the first few minutes here. Remember, you can follow all the action today on our YouTube channel, live on our Facebook page as well. We've got people from all around the globe watching the action today. Tom Carnby, who's wishing Tyler Wilson good luck on Facebook, watching from Cyprus this morning. Good luck messages to the likes of Freddie Farrell as well, and Harley Drake, and all the drivers from Lewis Anthony White. You can get involved with us, you can interact with us on all of our media platforms, all of our streams today. now focusing on these young drivers who are trying to get the best possible way around this Wilton Mill circuit. You can just see the blue sky above Christmas Corner. There's a little breeze, you can just see it from the reeds at the bottom of your screen. Little breeze actually heading up the hill here, so it won't be impeding them as they head up towards Christmas Corner. Be a little bit of a tailwind for them. A contact warning for Jenson Woodhouse, who's the slowest of the drivers so far. They've been involved in some sort of incident. And a track limits warning for driver number 7. So track limits warning and a contact warning for 105. So it's all happening out there at the moment. So Ashton Redpath also under the watchful eye of the clerk of the course. The officials here, Redpath 10th fastest at the moment. So Jack Robinson's the early pace setter, 52.089 is his fastest lap. Oscar Walsh second fastest. Bailey Wolf third fastest, the fastest rookie as well. Was very impressive at Clay Pigeon last time. And Nat Johnson and Harley Drake goes 5th up into 5th. Oliver Harrison goes up into 6th. So Robinson, Walsh, Wolf, Johnston, Scott, Drake and Harrison. Then Aston Redpath is now up into 8th. So steady progress being made by Aston Redpath. Second rookie out there at the moment. The rookie drivers are denoted by the black number plate on the Daniel Ricciardo kart. So Robinson at 51.961, his fastest lap of the session so far. 3/10 quicker than Oscar Walsh. And then Harley Drake up into 3rd, so 52.9 for him. That's a second slower than Jack Robinson. And where is our championship leader, Oscar Walsh? So Oscar Walsh at the moment, second fastest. Where is he in terms of time? So he's given away about 0.4 of a second to Jack Robinson. Where is Ewan Scott, the number 4? He's 6th fastest at the moment, 53.199, so 1.2 seconds. That's an absolute lifetime in DRS 62 racing. Some real time to make up there. Got a lot of work to do. Well, not just Ewan Scott in 6th, but Matt Johnston in 5th, Bailey Wolf in 4th as well. Harley Drake is some 1 second behind, so it's only Robinson and Walsh who are within a second of each other. So technical fault for the number 7. I think that's probably because he hasn't got a transponder on, or we're certainly not picking up any timings for him here. So the number 7 of Benjamin Baker. So what happens there? So Benjamin Baker's going to have to come in and they'll have to work out what's happened, why we're not seeing any times on our screen. Is it a technical problem with the transponder? Is the transponder not on? I'm sure we'll find out what the situation is, and then the officials will work out whether or not he's permitted to re-enter the circuit. So let's go back to the timesheets then. Robinson fastest, 51.956. Dropped off the pace a little bit in the last lap or two. He's now lapping around 52.6, 52.5, which is still quicker than pretty much everybody other than Oscar Walsh. So at the moment, we're just in a little bit of a lull here. We're just circling with nobody really going much faster. The likes of Oliver Harrison, Ewan Scott. Ewan Scott's dropped to 7th at the moment. I wonder if he's got some sort of problem out there. Ewan Scott, the number 4. Oliver Harrison is up into 6th, and Oscar Cole is 8th. Dorian Malek is 9th. The other drivers making inroads at the moment. Cruz Dalton's just done his fastest lap at the session so far, up into 12th place. He's pushed Oscar Roach and Aaron Haywood down to 13th and 14th, and then Indigo Pickering is 15th. But no change in the top 10 at all in the last lap or two, as they cross the line once more. Cruz Dalton, another move for Cruz, up to 11th, the number 64. But otherwise, no significant changes at the top of this group of drivers. So Oscar Cole up to 6th then. So Oscar Cole, lap 9 for Oscar, just done his fastest lap, 53.1 now. Bear in mind that's over a second slower than Jack Robinson, but Jack Robinson's dropped now to 52.3, 52.4. Jack Robinson's fastest lap came on lap 3. Now in terms of the rest of the field, everybody's gone faster on 8, 9, 7. Yeah, Jack Robinson, I wonder if they've set that up to come on really early, really quickly and almost go off, almost like a qualifying spec, a qualifying setup for Jack Robinson. But he's got 2/10 on Oscar Walsh. Oscar Walsh is going a little bit quicker now. 52.1 for Walsh. Harley Drake, 52.9. And then Nat Johnston up to 3rd. So Nat Johnston, the number 5, 52.8 for him. Harley Drake down to 4th, Bailey Wolf down to 5th, Oscar Cole is 6th, Oliver Harrison is 7th, Ewan Scott struggling down in 8th place, Dorian Malek 9th, Ashton Redpath is 10th, Daxton Groves has just replaced Cruz Dalton for 11th. So Nat Johnston, the latest of the movers. What did Robinson do last time? 52.3 for Jack Robinson. He's fairly consistent at 3s and 4s at the moment. Nat Johnston 52.8. So how long have we got left? 20 seconds. So once these drivers get through now, this will be it. Let's see if anyone has something up their sleeve on lap 10, 11 or 12 of this session. So time, 10 seconds. So all the ones that are just coming through start finish now will get another lap in. But I think that will be it. It'll be very tight. Yeah, just about. The 105 of Ashton Redpath went through in 10th. So anybody goes quicker now, they could make a late improvement here. We'll keep our eyes firmly fixed on the timing screens. Jenson Woodhouse has gone up to 14th, 3 places for him last time round. So Robinson's through to complete his session, no faster for Jack Robinson. Can Oscar Walsh go quicker? The 134 of Aaron Haywood's gone up to 15th, made a couple of places. Dorian Malek is 9th, no improvement for him. Here come the rest of them then. So Walsh goes through. Oh no, he had a horrible lap. He must have been in some traffic, Oscar Walsh. He had a 54.4. Nat Johnston a 53s flat. No quicker for him. In fact, all of the top 10 have now been through. I think Jenson Woodhouse was the last to cross the line, and there's no change in the top 10. So Jack Robinson is the fastest of the DRS 62 drivers in qualifying. Oscar Walsh, second fastest, just around about 2/10 of a second slower. Nat Johnston, 3rd fastest. Now he was about 9/10 of a second. So the front two have got about 3/4 of a second at least over everybody else out there, which is that's almost unheard of, isn't it, in DRS 62 qualifying. Harley Drake, 4th fastest. Bailey Wolf, 5th fastest. Then Oscar Cole, Oliver Harrison, Ewan Scott, Dorian Malek and Ashton Redpath. They are the top 10 for the DRS 62s. And we are down to 1 remaining qualifying session, and then we'll be into the competitive stuff, into the cut and thrust of the heats. We have 4 heats on offer before the lunch break. 2 for the DRS 100s, 1 for the 62s and 1 for the DRS 125s. And it's those DRS 125s who are on the dummy grid and waiting for their qualifying session. So the DRS 62s, their first heat of the day. A qualifying session that saw a new lap record for Jack Robinson, the DRS plate holder. And he will take his place on the inside of the front row. Alongside him will be Oscar Walsh. A packed grid of DRS 62 drivers. These are youngest drivers in the field today. The youngest drivers in the series. And they generally give us some very competitive racing indeed. Track temperature as high as it's been all day as well. Just over 1 o'clock. 1:05 is the scheduled off time for this group. Now, can Oscar Walsh stick to Jack Robinson? Can he get a tour? Can he be dragged around this Wilton Mill circuit? Can he then plot and plan a way to win the race? Will the race winner come from further down the field? There's plenty of talent around, plenty of drivers who have been at the sharp end of DRS 62 for a long time. There's some very exciting young rookie drivers as well. The standouts recently have been the likes of Bailey Wolf, Cruz Dalton. We've seen some real form from Dorian Malek here as well. So they'll stretch the legs around the formation lap. Looks like they'll get 2 formation laps, as every group seems to have had, just to make sure that all the required temperatures are where they should be. Everybody can form themselves up into a nice orderly pack of DRS 62 drivers. So in a much more orderly fashion then, they head their way round towards the double left. The first left is Parker's, the second left is Chapman's. And then they head down the short back straight here, which runs parallel to the start-finish straight. So front 2 then, Robinson and Walsh. Who will get the drop into the first corner first? Here they come. They're fairly well formed. They're a little quick, but I think they will go first time. They do. Who gets the drop? Robinson. Walsh tries to go around the outside. Does he make it stick in there? I think he has made it stick in there, hasn't he? Up the hill they go for the first time. Is it the DRS plate or is it the number 3 of Oscar Walsh? It is the number 3 of Oscar Walsh. So down to second comes Robinson. That could have been a very clever ploy from Walsh to get the drop and just stop Robinson from cruising away at the start of this race. He's now kept him at bay. He's now got to think of something different. He's firstly got to find a way past Oscar Walsh. As he has a little look into Chapman's, they'll come side by side. Will they? No, they won't. It's line of stern for the front 2, who are already just pressing away from the third place drivers. And the drivers in behind. Over start finish come our leaders. There's a long gaggle of cars. The 1-2-1 is in third place of Harley Drake. So Walsh, Robinson, Drake, then Ewan Scott. So Ewan Scott didn't have the qualifying session that he will have wanted. But they have found a little bit more pace certainly in the opening stages, or he's certainly managed to racecraft himself through into 4th place. Second in the championship, Ewan Scott, 4th on the road at the moment. Over start finish line once more. 8 minutes plus a lap, remember, for these drivers. At the moment, the battle is between the front two, but Jack Robinson cannot find a way through. Or is Jack Robinson could just sit there now and think, right, we're not really under any pressure here from Harley Drake at the moment. Drake isn't closing in on us. The lap times are pretty good, and he'll know that. These young drivers are very, very adept, very good at knowing pace and knowing what's quick and what's not, and when they need to make moves. He'll also be able to see Harley Drake in his peripheral vision every time he goes, like where he is now. So just coming out of that corner, they can have a little glance under the visor and just look across the circuit and see where the distance is between themselves and the driver behind. So if Robinson's not going all out to stay with Oscar Walsh, I don't think he is, he can bide his time now. No pressure from behind. He could sit there for 5 minutes and then pick a way through on the last lap. He won't want to leave it too late, but this is where your racecraft comes in. This is where these young drivers are very mature in the way they think through races. And I'm sure Jack Robinson is sat there now, the DRS plate, behind the number 3 of Oscar Walsh, just trying to work out what's best to do here. Is he going to give him a chance? He might give him a chance now as they come side by side. Is he going to take the lead into the boot? He is going to take the lead into the boot. Robinson hits the front then for the first time. Here comes Walsh though, tries to counter around the outside, won't make it stick this time. And our new race leader then is Jack Robinson as they go over start finish. Now here's a different challenge then. Has Robinson got the pace to move away from Oscar Walsh? I don't think he has, because Walsh is going to counter-attack. Walsh has counter-attacked at the top end of the circuit at Christmas Corner, and he's retaken that lead away from Jack Robinson. So Robinson was in the lead for all of 3 corners before Walsh thought, and very cleverly as well, I must admit, because if he thinks that Robinson is significantly quicker than him, and here he comes again, he gets a great run, doesn't he? Every time they come out of Chapman's, Robinson gets an unbelievable run out of Chapman's, and the move is pretty much done by the time they get to the boot. Now, can Robinson stop the counter into Christmas? Walsh tucked right up behind then. They go through the double apex. He's already in the inside, isn't he, Walsh? He's already trying it up the hill. Is there contact? There is contact between the two of them. He is going to make it stick again, though. And Walsh goes back to the lead ahead of Robinson. It's an exact carbon copy of what they did just a lap ago. And these two going at it pretty much hammer and tongue at the moment. Here is the move then. Look at just, there's a little kink in the road on the top straight. A little bit of contact there. There's a little bit of side pod between the two of them. Nothing too untoward there. Nothing that the officials will need to see, I'm sure. And now Walsh goes on the defensive out of Chapman. So clever from Oscar Walsh. He knows now that Robinson is quick there. And I wonder, has Jack Robinson shown his card too early? Has he shown where he's quicker too early now? And now can Oscar Walsh try and fend that off for the remaining, 2.5 minutes here as they go up the hill. This is where Walsh is quick. So Walsh has got the straight line speed to keep him at bay into Christmas. Walsh's problem is bottom end speed. It's coming out of Chapman's, the left-hander. That's where he struggles. They're going to head down towards there now. There's no change further back, by the way. Harvey Drake is 3rd and Ewan Scott is 4th and Nat Johnson is 5th and Bailey Wolf is the top rookie in 6th place. This is the place now where Robinson is quick. They've both had a contact warning as well. Oh, let them get on with it. They're fine, the pair of them at the moment. They're just giving us good high-quality racing. Here he goes. Switches to the inside, switches to the outside. Walsh has got his number now. He's got his number on the one place of the circuit where Robinson is quick. Walsh has worked this out. Now, can he execute the defence that he's going to need for the next 2 laps or 3 laps potentially of the remainder of this race? We've got 1 minute and 3/4 to go plus that one final lap. It'll probably compute to 3 laps overall. Up the hill go the 2 leaders into Christmas. Quick look further back then. Oliver Harrison is 7th. Aston Redpath is 8th. Oscar Cole is 9th. Benjamin Baker is 10th. And then Dorian Malik is 11th and Daxton Groves is 12th. This is the part where Robinson is quick. He's quick here in Parkers. He's very quick through here in Chapman's. Look at his exit speed here. He's usually so fast just around about now. Can Walsh keep him at bay? Yeah, I think he probably has done. Again, has Oscar Walsh. I think he showed his cards too early. I think Robinson should have hung on till probably about now would have been the time to start putting those moves on into the boot. He's played his hand very early. And fair play to Oscar Walsh. He's worked it out, and he's currently got all the answers. Has he got all the answers in the closing stages? We've got a yellow flag through the left-hander at Parkers and at post 7, which is at Chapman's, a static yellow flag, so somebody going quite slowly through there at the moment. We've got 30 seconds of this race plus 1 lap to go. The 2 of them are going to get round again, so it'll be 2 laps after this, I think, because I don't think they'll break the timing beam before the time is up. We'll see. It'll be quite close actually as they come up towards the bootleg. Here comes Robinson down the inside. Oh, Walsh didn't defend enough. Oh, there's contact between the 2 of them. Now on that occasion, I don't know if that will be allowed. Robinson wasn't all the way down the inside. Robinson tagged the back of Oscar Walsh and has therefore, in my opinion, it is only my opinion, gained an advantage through the contact. Because he wasn't alongside, I'm going to see a replay now. Ooh, that will take some investigating. I would not want to make that decision. As Walsh goes back to the inside, these 2 are kicking lumps at each other. Then there's contact. Walsh goes over the grass. That'll be his opportunity gone. Now this is going to take some unpicking. That will undoubtedly go to investigation between these 2. Undoubtedly. And I think Walsh has got a problem as well. He's looking at the back left of his car. I wonder if he's got a problem. We'll see if he circulates any slower. This will undoubtedly go to the officials, and there will be an investigation between these 2, not just because of the move there, but the one that we're now seeing on screen. Ooh, does he run him out of road? He has a long look over Jack Robinson. I would imagine Jack Robinson will be a little bit nervous under that helmet at the moment, because he's been the aggressor, if you like, in the 2 manoeuvres. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff indeed. It's Oscar Walsh is going to come home in second, I'm sure of it, as Robinson is now on his last lap. Oh, what did you make of that at home? 2 big incidents, with 2 laps to go. One into the bootleg, which saw Robinson take the lead, and then one where Walsh was trying to come back at him at Christmas, and the 2 of them came side by side with Walsh running out of road in the end. He's going to finish second. Some tasty stuff from these 2. Harley Drake a little bit further back. Nat Johnston is in 4th. Oliver Harrison's lost a place, and Ewan Scott's lost a couple of places down into 7th, so not doing his championship any good. So Robinson crosses the line to win the race for now, because that will be investigated. They'll undoubtedly be held. And let's see what the officials make of that. It says provisional on the screen. I would say it's very provisional, that. So Jack Robinson wins the race. Second is Oscar Walsh. Third, Harley Drake. 4th, Nat Johnston, the best of the rookies, as has been for a while now, is Bailey Wolf, with Oliver Harrison, Ewan Scott and Aston Redpath in the top 8. So post-race scrutineering checks, of course, to come, and probably a watch of some videos for the clerk of the course to try and pick the bones out of that. So provisionally, Jack Robinson is the race winner, and our next race will be on circuit at 1:25. It'll be the first heat for the DRS 125s.
Oh, you put it to him?
I will put it to him again.
Ah, I was going to say, did you tell him? Put it to him if you didn't tell him.
More, you know what I mean?
More like the job.
Because he's now like going to work every day. He's a business partner. Said that last time we never did.
You never sent me a bill. And I haven't charged anyone for it. You sent me a bill.
How many you want? He doesn't need to send you an invoice.
Yeah, we'll be paying double bubble.
Telling me about it today, about things like media, they get a guy daily training.
These trainers, they used to be really comfortable. Now, when I wear off all the time, they've got no comfort at all.
The butler they have in the awning.
How long until we go out?
2 minutes. 2 minutes, mate, yeah. 3 o'clock. But Mark will just after a ball for Lewis. Going into the road or not?
And it can have some like costs and stuff.
It's going to be about 1,400, 1,500 quid. Plus the entry, plus the base style. So I reckon it'll be about £2 grand. Plus whatever you use at the races. You should have gone to Vegas now, October the 16th.
Is that first race?
That's the Sunday.
That's the last day.
That's the grand final. Yeah.
So it's 3 days before that.
Yes, so you get the car Wednesday morning, practice Wednesday afternoon, practice Thursday, practice qualify on Friday, Saturday race, Sunday, if you get full.
So you don't race your day if you don't get home.
You'll be in RB. Really long. It's brand new.
So our next pre-final, the DRS 62s. And you will notice in terms of the grid that the DRS plate of Jack Robinson starts third, and the reason for that is there was a penalty applied from the first heat for that incident, or those couple of incidents involving himself and Oscar Walsh. So Harley Drake is the beneficiary of that. He moves up second on the grid. Bailey Wolf is fourth on the grid. Row 3 is Nat Johnston and Oliver Harrison, and Ewan Scott and Oscar Cole on row 4. So I think we probably expect this to be Walsh and Robinson again. But can Harley Drake get involved? Can Bailey Wolf get involved? It would certainly help back things up if Harley Drake was to get the jump in the first couple of corners. We've got one car still on the dummy grid, the 124 of Dorian Malik. So Dorian Malik's had a good day so far in terms of pace and performance, but he can't get started at the moment. We'll go around again and give him the best possible chance of getting started. And I can promise there is no worse feeling than being sat there like that. Being fairly helpless in terms of what you can do. Whilst everybody busies around and tries to fix the problem at the moment, they're not having much success with the 1-2-4. And there will be a point when the officials deem that Dorian Malek will not be able to start the race. They're still trying to get him going. But the rest of them are already on their way round to start this race. Will they go again? Will they go around for another formation lap and give them a chance? Or are they going to go this time? Let's see. I don't think that's starting. I think they could go this time. Let's have a look. Lights are red. Do we go this time? No, we don't. We go around again. So we're going round again. Oh, they fixed it. Super timing. Dorian Malek is back in this race. So he will now scamper round as quickly as he possibly can to rejoin the rest of the field. So Oscar Walsh, who will dictate the pace here. Harley Drake will do his best to get into that first corner first, or at least be alongside as they head down towards turn one. Keep your eye out for Jack Robinson from the second row. He will certainly be keen to have a little look down the inside into the opening corner here at Crook. And then they'll sort themselves out up the back straight, up the fine lady as they call it here, towards Christmas Corner. So Walsh and Drake, 1 and 2. Robinson just in behind them in third. Then Johnston. Will we go? Yes, we do. Lights are green. It's actually a very good start from the 1-2-1 of Harley Drake, and he has got the drop, so superstar from Harley Drake, and Walsh is then demoted into second, but for how long as he goes to the inside? He will take that second place away. Drake tucks back in to third. Here comes Robinson then on to Drake to try and find a way through as they head down for the first time towards the Ashby corner. This right-hander off camber falls away from you on the exit, as does Chapman's the next one as well. Here comes Robinson into second, and he has made it stick as well. We know that Robinson is excellent around Parker's. We know he's great around Chapman's. And he's managed to make it stick in the first of those two corners. The rest of them are squabbling over third, fourth and fifth. But all of a sudden, we've got the battle that everybody wanted to see again. It's Walsh who leads. It's Robinson in second place. Over the line they go. 1 lap completed here. We've got 8 minutes of this race, plus that one final lap still to go. So the big movers on the first couple of laps. What a good start for Jenson Woodhouse. He's got up from 20th to 13th in 1 lap, and Cruz Dalton from 14th to 11th. Penalty for Harley Drake for a jump start. Wow, I said he got a good start. No, was that good? So Harley Drake then, we've said how well his start had been. He's going to receive a penalty for jumping the start. So just shows how important it is that they hold line astern, they keep to the positions that they're meant to be in. He got the better of it, and there's another penalty for the 110 as well of Indigo Pickering. So Indigo Pickering, who's in 12th place, I assume that's for something similar. So Indigo Pickering and Harley Drake both receiving penalties. But let's look at our front two. We've 5 or 6 minutes of this to enjoy. So if you're watching from home, sit back, relax, and just enjoy these two. Both really high caliber young drivers, these two. Both very, very good at what they do. But there has been some previous here today already between Walsh and Robinson, and they're 1 and 2 at the moment as they flick round the boot and then through the right-hander of Paddock Corner. Absolutely nothing between them then as they head down. Now I wonder if Robinson will wait this time. So he showed his hand very early in the first heat, almost allowed Walsh to work it out and to defend that little bit more aggressively when he needed to. Will Robinson just sit there now? It's the same situation as they were in just a couple of hours ago. So when will he show his cards this time? He's got no pressure from behind. He's got Nat Johnston in 3rd place. He's got Bailey Wolf in there as well, and Benjamin Baker is in the top 5. Front 2 head into the boot once more. No change on this occasion. A little bit of smoke puffs from the exhaust of Oscar Walsh. Green helmet, number 3, 3rd in last year's championship. Looking to go not 1 but 2 better this time round, Oscar Walsh. He's at the top of the tree for it as well. He's got the maximum points so far from this championship in terms of the first round. He was certainly on form at Clay Pigeon in the wet conditions. And uncharacteristically, Jack Robinson wasn't that weekend. It was Ewan Scott who was the biggest challenge to Oscar Walsh 3 weeks ago. Ewan Scott finds himself down in 7th place at the moment. He's having a weekend to forget here at Wilton Mill in terms of both pace and track position. So under investigation comes number 6. So Oliver Harrison in 12th place under investigation as well. As I move a little bit further back, there's a challenge for 4th between Nat Johnson and Benjamin Baker. Baker tried to go down the inside on the way into Paddock, which is a risky move. He didn't make it stick. They're both still circling in 4th and 5th. Bailey Wolf is in 3rd. Here are the front 2. When does this move come? I have no doubt it will come from Jack Robinson. Who wins the battle of the racecraft between these two? At what point does it get a little bit fraught like it did in the first heat earlier on today? Another puff of smoke from the engines as they go around the boot and head down towards the right-hander at Paddock Bend. Oh, he thought he was going to have a little look there, Robinson. He almost shifted, didn't he? He almost shifted alongside as they went down, start, finish. Decided better of it. They now come up the hill. Penalty for 127. So Jenson Woodhouse, we talked about how well he'd done to get up through the field. The penalty, he's now got a penalty applied. He's in 15th place, so he had lost a couple of places as well. 2 minutes to go here. Penny for your thoughts, Jack Robinson. When do you make this move? Where do you make this move? Undoubtedly, the officials will be very, very aware of these two. Obviously, they have the benefit of all the action replays as well through the live streaming. Robinson, here he goes, down the inside into turn 1, surely not. Is he going to make it stick in there? The two of them come round. Has he made it stick? No, he hasn't made it stick. Not just yet. But I like his thinking. He's gone for something different. He's gone for something a little bit out there on Oscar Walsh. Tried to catch him almost unawares as they went down the start-finish straight and into Crook last time round. What have we got left? 1:20. So now I would expect Robinson to be putting some more pressure on here. I would expect more moves from Robinson. I don't think you can leave this to the last minute. He's going to try and go down the inside. There's going to be contact. Walsh goes around the outside. There is contact between the two of them. Walsh is going to... Ooh, there's a little bit of contact between the two of them. Can Walsh get back on terms now? I think Robinson was probably... Here we go. Yeah, that move's complete for me. I don't think there actually is any contact. Super move, Jack Robinson. Super move. Contact warning for Oscar Cole as well. Where are the front two? Here are the front two. Heading up towards Christmas. We've still got probably two laps to go after this one, I think. Can Walsh get on terms? He's got the pace, hasn't he? He's still half a car length or so behind. Robinson's mindset will be very clear. No mistakes. Make sure you hit every apex. Make sure you get every racing line perfect. And just try and keep this little buffer that I've got at the moment to keep me away from Oscar Walsh. If he wins this race, he's timed it perfectly. And what we do like about the DRS62 drivers is they generally pick up the information quickly. They learn about how to do certain things. And he has learned from the first session. Here is the move again. Gets alongside on the way into the left-hander at the boot. I think at this point here, the move is complete. At that point there, the deal is done. And Oscar Walsh doesn't really have much option but to back out of the challenge, although he is still there or thereabouts. Here is the battle a little bit further on for third, fourth and fifth. They're going at it, aren't they? The likes of Wolf and Baker and Johnston. And just behind them is Oscar Cole. I think Robinson's done his work here. I think he's got enough of an advantage. We'll look at this battle for a moment for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. As Baker tries to attack Nat Johnston for fourth. We are on to the last lap and Robinson has managed to break the spirit of Oscar Walsh. He's managed to get himself 2 or 3 kart lengths of an advantage over Oscar Walsh. And at the moment, there is no reply from Walsh as Wolf goes over in third place. That's probably where the battle's going to be on this last lap. Here they come up the hill. It is Wolf who leads. Into the inside comes Baker on the 5 of Johnston. Leader then is coming round. He's got a back marker to deal with. That could be interesting for the race leader. They're coming up to a back marker. I'm not sure he'll quite get there as the back marker's just entering the boot now. I think he's going to be okay. Jack Robinson as he comes round the final corner, and Robinson is going to win it then. So Jack Robinson wins the pre-final for the DRS62. Second place for Oscar Walsh. Held him at bay for as long as he could. The battle continues to rage in behind. I thought it was going to be Bailey Wolf. I don't think it is now though. It's down the inside. Is he going to make it stick? He is, and Wolf's going to lose a load of place on the last corner because Nat Johnston picked his pocket. Benjamin Baker came home just behind him. Oscar Cole was in 5th. Bailey Wolf actually in the end finished down in 6th place. It was Ashton Redpath in 7th with Ewan Scott in 8th and Cruz Dalton in 9th. Harley Drake finished in 10th place, and we'll be down on the dummy grid in just a moment for the pre-final for the DRS 125s. So we're back on the grid for the first of our grand finals. The DRS62s, our youngest drivers, are about to kick us off with 3 fantastic final races. The DRS62s, the 100s, the 125s, big grand finals with everything still to play for. And they're all set up for some excellent battles as well. We've got the front row that we probably expected for the DRS62s. And it certainly looks like Jack Robinson's just got the pace edge over Oscar Walsh. So will Oscar Walsh try and just keep him at bay for a few laps? That's been the theme of the earlier races, where he's tried to keep him at bay for as long as he can and tried to counter-attack him once he's found a way through. We're going to jump a little bit further back through the field. I wanted to grab a chat with Bailey Wolfe, if I can, who's on the inside of the third row, our top rookie as well. Bailey, another really good showing this weekend. It must be doing you a lot of good and giving you a lot of confidence to be able to mix it with some of these drivers.
Yeah, I'm very happy I'm up here between all the Supras and got a lot of confidence, hope I win this championship.
Absolutely, and what's realistic from here, because you've shown the pace, I suppose, to be on the main podium. Is that the target?
Yeah.
Absolutely, we wish you all the best of luck. So our top rookie from the day so far certainly is Bailey Wolfe. We're just going to head over and speak to Ewan Scott as well, who's on the outside of row 4 in 8th place. Ewan, probably not the weekend that you would have wanted so far. What do you put it down to?
I'm just going to try and get through the pack because my car hasn't been doing so well all through the weekend.
And I suppose when you're in a position like this, it's just a case of trying to pick up as many points as you can, probably getting out of Wilton Mill as quickly as you can and focusing on the next round.
Yeah.
In terms of this circuit, it's quite a bumpy ride out there. Is it a circuit that you enjoy?
It's not my favourite track, but I do like the track.
Would you rather be in the rain at Clay Pigeon?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Certainly showed better at Clay Pigeon. Wish him all the best as well. So the DRS 62s, 21 of them all ready to go for our first grand final of the day here at round 2 of the Daniel Ricciardo series at Wilton Mill. First grand final of the day, 3 of them to come, and this is the DRS 62s. So they stream onto circuit, the DRS 62s. They are led by Jack Robinson from the inside of the front row. I think this is a race of strategy. I think it's a race of whether they can keep Robinson at bay and how long can they keep Robinson at bay. There's no doubt that Oscar Walsh has got comparative pace. But he just hasn't had that extra edge, has he? He hasn't had that last little bit that Robinson seems to have at the end of races, just to pull himself away. They're not going to go this time, they'll go round again for another rolling lap. So round they come then. Start could be critical here, absolutely critical. Walsh has got to try and get the jump, I think, on Robinson. Even better if he could get Robinson back a couple of places and back amongst the pack. That would be a perfect start for Oscar Walsh. What he doesn't want is he doesn't want to lose any places himself and allow, if Robinson gets away here and gets a little gap in the first couple of laps, I think that could be the race won. The start is critical. 12 minutes plus a lap here to go for the DRS 62 grand final. They're looking pretty well formed. We've got one at the back of the field which looks like it's going to stop. What do they do now? What do they do now? They're going to go around again. So the issue with the kart on the adjacent straight to the start-finish line. I'm trying to see who it is. It might be Tyler Wilson, is it? Is it Tyler Wilson, the 91? Looks like it. They're trying to get him restarted now, which they have done. Now, I would suggest this might need 2 more rolling laps because he's never going to catch that. He's never going to catch the back of that up, back of the pack up before they come back round again. Unless they can get him through a shortcut, which would make sense. There is a couple of different configurations to this Wilton Mill circuit. It was Tyler Wilson, the driver involved. So because there's some different configurations, they could certainly give him a little shortcut, point him to a little shortcut through the pack. Now will he go, will they go again? They sent him all the way around, have they? Now if they sent him through the cut through now, he'd be ahead of them. So he's going to have to go all the way around. I think he's on the back row anyway, so I don't think it's going to make much difference to the start of this race. So then, Robinson and Walsh, Johnston and Harley Drake, then Bailey Wolf and Oscar Cole, Harrison and Ewan Scott, Dorian Malik and Ashton Redpath. They are the top 11 drivers for this DRS 62 Grand Final. Robinson and Walsh, they're the box office here. Can Oscar Walsh keep Jack Robinson at bay, certainly in the early part of this race? Here they come to the line, the lights are on red. Do we go green? We are racing here, and it looks like Robinson's got the best of the starts. Walsh is going to try and go around the outside. Can he find a way through in turn 1? No, he can't. He will go on the attack, though, I am sure, at the top of this hill to Christmas. Robinson goes to the inside to defend. Here comes Walsh down the outside. He's not going to make it happen, I don't think. He has got to attack now, you would imagine. He is right there as they go down the hill towards the right-hander for the very first time. This is critical time for this race. Robinson has pace, so it looks like we've got some contact at the top of the circuit as well. The 110 of Indigo Pickering, and there's a few other drivers involved as well. What happens here? They are going to get restarted. No, one of them isn't going to get restarted at the top of this. In fact, 2 of them not restarted at the top of the circuit. I wonder if they'll go full course yellow here, because one of them's in a really awkward position. One of them is in a really awkward position on the way out of Christmas Corner. I'd be surprised if they don't go full course yellow on that. There's a waved yellow on the way into Christmas. It is full course yellow, so yes, as we expected. Now, that will work for Oscar Walsh. So full course yellow, everyone will start to slow. Everyone will start to slow. They'll all concertina up behind each other. And we will effectively have a pace car situation where Jack Robinson becomes the pace car. He takes the pace. It will be around about 50 to 70% of race pace. And then we will have a restart. Now, who does this work best for? I don't think that Robinson was far enough away to think that he'd done the work. I think that he still had Oscar Walsh within a tenth or 2, although there was a 2/10 swing on the last lap in terms of lap time between the 2 of them. So how many laps will we get under this? I'm just trying to eavesdrop on the official radio just to see when we might get a restart here. And I think we will get a restart. I mean, the carts are in a safe place. Yeah, looking at the marshals, they're all taking their flags in. So we will get a green on start finish, which means nobody can overtake before the line. How does Robinson play this then? Does he try and back them all up? Does he try and get a little sprint off the last corner? I would imagine he'll know. Oh, will he know? Because there's still a flag out at 6. There's no flag at 7 or 8. Well, there is one at 8. So yeah, he's probably not going to know it's green until he comes round to the start-finish line. Right, get ready for a restart then. The time is still ticking. We've now got 8.5 minutes to go of the 12 minutes plus a lap grand final. They've seen Andy Cox. That probably gives you a good indication. Andy Cox waving at you would tell me we're about to get started again. Here we go then. Robinson will have a long look down this main straight and he'll do everything he can to keep Walsh at bay. Here they go then, they hit the accelerators, it is a restart. Walsh onto the back then of Robinson. The attack will come at Christmas. It won't come now, it'll come as they exit this corner and head up the long straight. Here will go Walsh, will he try and force it down the inside? No, he doesn't, he goes to the outside. He'll try and cut back as they drop through Christmas and down the hill. Here he comes then, on the outside this time, can't make it stick. It's a much tidier line from Jack Robinson, and has he seen off the advances of Oscar Walsh, who got a little handful of understeer as well as he went through the right-hander at Ashby. That will have cost him a tenth or two. That could be all that Jack Robinson needs as he goes through Chapman's and heads down the short back straight here. The gap is about 2 or 3 kart lengths between the two of them. Through the boot once more. Walsh has got to do something now, you would imagine. I don't think he can afford to watch and sit in behind Jack Robinson. Jack Robinson has that little bit more pace than him, we think, around this Wilton Mill circuit. He's taken 2/10 out of him on that lap alone. How close can he get at the top of here? Is it worth a lunge from Walsh? He's close enough. Decides not to do it. That might have been a chance for Oscar Walsh. He's certainly got more top end speed than Jack Robinson. And then Jack Robinson spends the rest of the lap just edging away from him, corner after corner after corner. The difference for Walsh is at the top of the main straight. That's where he's got his pace. That's where he's got the power to find a way through. And to be fair to him, he is right there now as they go through the left-hander and onto this short straight towards start finish. He almost pushes him into the boot, lets him know he's there. This lap belongs to Walsh. He's got himself back in contention with Robinson. Will he have a look on the start finish? Certainly had enough power, decided not to do it. Will he triumph? Or he can't do it because of the yellow flag. That's why Oscar Walsh couldn't make the move, because there was a yellow flag in play. He goes to the outside again. Surely he's not going to try and stick it around the outside into Christmas, is he? No, he's not. Robinson and Walsh, 1 and 2 behind them. Bailey Wolf has found his way. The top rookie has now found himself in 3rd place overall. What a super drive what a super weekend from Bailey Wolf. Has he got the pace? What are they doing lap time wise? No, he hasn't. They're a full second or so slower than these front two, but Walsh is just on the fastest lap of the race, a 52.863. So has Oscar Walsh had extra cards in his pocket? Has he had a little bit more in reserve to get on terms with Jack Robinson? Top end speed is very, very good as they get to the end of the main straight, as they get to the end of the back straight into Christmas. He's there, and he's there again. Now he forces his way to the inside. Is this the move that gives him the lead? It is indeed. Walsh to the inside. He tries to stick it around the outside. Josie's held him off. Robinson's held him off. He went all the way around the outside into Christmas. A super piece of defensive work. He gave him enough room to make the move, but then shut the door on the way out and said, no, if you're going to find a way past me, you're going to have to force your way past Oscar Walsh. Robinson retains the lead then. They go through the left-hander once more. Can they keep this up? We've got 5 minutes or so left of this. And just be aware of this 3-kart battle behind them, because if these two really fall over each other, it would fall right into the hands of Bailey Wolf, right into the hands of Nat Johnston and Benjamin Baker. Oscar Cole is behind them. Ashton Redpath further back as well. Right then, next time round for these two. This is where Walsh has the advantage. Will he stick it to the inside? No. Robinson defends again. I think he's going to have to be more forceful. And then you obviously run risks when you do that. But I think he's got to force it down the inside into that top corner at Christmas Bend if he's going to make it stick. I think that Robinson, in the same way that Oscar Walsh worked out Robinson in one of the earlier heats, I think now that Robinson has worked out Walsh and where he's attacked from. And in fact, Robinson's had an excellent couple of corners and has just broke the toe a little bit away from Walsh. Walsh all of a sudden is scrambling to stay in touch with the race leader. This is a key moment of the race right here. Robinson now. He put 3/10 into Walsh that last lap. 52.4, fastest lap of the race so far. 52.7 for Walsh. He's going to need a tow, he's going to need a pull up this hill. It does help him, doesn't it? The top line speed that he's got certainly helps him. Now Walsh needs it neat and tidy. through Christmas. He needs it neat and tidy through the Asprey hairpin. He needs to be neat and tidy through Parker's, which is where they're about to head now. He has taken a little bit of this gap back, hasn't he? But what we do know is we know that the next stage of the track at Chapman's is where Jack Robinson has been at his best this weekend, and he does take another half a cat length or so. Absolutely key critical, this gap now. It was 0.4 of a second last time. What is it now? Walsh is scrambling, desperately trying to stay in touch with the race leader. He has had his chances. It's up another 10th. At the moment, Robinson's winning this battle. It's up another 10. I think Oscar Walsh has got 2 laps here to get back on terms. I think if he doesn't, I think the advantage has gone. I think the race has gone. Walsh has had his chances to make move stick, hasn't managed to do it. Now Robinson, and again, top end of the circuit, at the top of the circuit, Walsh is quick. Certainly sector 1, Walsh is quick, but from here, this is where Robinson makes his time. Penalty for DRA, so penalty for Bailey Wolf, who's back in 6th place. He was up as high as 3rd at one point, back in 6th. The new 3rd place man is Nat Johnston. Oscar Cole was up into 4th, and Benjamin Baker's lost a couple of places as well, into 5th. Ooh, gap stays the same. They did identical lap times to the 1,000th of a second, the front 2. Will that give Walsh a little bit of hope? Will it give him enough to think he can get a little bit closer? It's got to do something really special for 1 lap to get him back on the bumper of Jack Robinson. The time is under 2 minutes. He's had a good top of the circuit again, hasn't he? He's within 2 kart lengths. A couple of other drivers making good inroads as well. Ewan Scott's down in 9th place. Oliver Harrison in 8th. Cruz Dalton in 10th. Daxton Groves down in 14th. And Donovan Malek, who's had a good day so far, but he's down in 15th at the moment. Tyler Wilson, who had that issue on the first lap. There's a replay of the battle between the Oscar Cole and Benjamin Baker. Front 2 gap stays the same. In fact, it's a personal best for Oscar Walsh, but the gap was pretty much the same as Jack Robinson did a pretty identical lap time. I'm just looking up towards the front 2, and every time I look to them at the top of the circuit, I think Oscar Walsh is significantly closer, and then by the time they get to the start-finish line, the gap has usually just reverted back to where it was. He's probably going to have 3 more laps at the end of this one. Here's the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. 3rd place is Nat Johnston. Then Benjamin Baker, Oscar Cole and Bailey Wolf are all together, with Ashton Redpath just behind. Robinson and Walsh are your front 2. The gap between them, again, half a second. No quarter given, none taken. They've just crossed start-finish line again, and he's just holding him at arm's length. Jack Robinson just doing enough. He's Jack Robinson. There's your 4th, 5th and 6th drivers. 7th is Aston Redpath. 8th is Oliver Harrison. Now, I don't think the gap is any closer this time round between Robinson and Walsh. It's been an intriguing battle between the 2 of them. Just got the impression that Robinson had that little touch more, that little bit extra if he needed it. And about 7 or 8 laps in, he turned the screw, got an advantage, and now the gap is bigger. Fastest lap of the race for Jack Robinson, 52.251, and what a time to do it when you're trying to break the toe of Oscar Walsh. And I'll tell you what this will do. It will bring Jack Robinson right back into the championship equation. He didn't have the best of weekends when it came to Clay Pigeon 3 weeks ago. He came in here trying to claw back a 31-point deficit on Oscar Walsh. He will certainly have clawed some of that back. He is heading towards the checkered flag. He has 1 more corner to go. It's going to be Jack Robinson. 1 corner through the right-hander at paddock. He'll look down the straight, he'll see a man with a flag, and Jack Robinson wins the grand final. 2nd place is Oscar Walsh. There's a gap back then to third where Nat Johnston is just coming round the final corner now, and Johnston finishes in third place. He's happy with that, you can tell. Fourth place is Benjamin Baker. Oscar Cole is in fifth, and Bailey Wolf finishes in sixth place. Welcome to the trophy presentation for round 2 of the Daniel Ricciardo series here at Wilton Mill. We will start after an excellent day's racing with the B final for the DRS 100s. The B final winner today was number 146, Aaron Mensah. On to our DRS 125s, and our Grand Master for round 2 is the DRS player Firas Bilbezi. And today's DRS 125 top 3 in third place, and what an eventful day he's had as well, but a super drive to come back on the recovery onto the podium for the 317 of Anthony Amato. Second place, the number 314 of Cody Eustace. And today's winner, after one of the most eventful DRS 125 finals I think I can remember having here at the Daniel Ricciardo series. Today's winner, number 4, Tom Snape. Ladies and gentlemen, the DRS 125 top 3.
Roberto Menoni, yeah.
And finally for the DRS 125s, our rookie of the day goes to number 324, Roberto Menoni. On to the DRS 100s then, our junior class, and today's top rookie in 14th place was number 114, Archie Potter. And another outstanding DRS 100 final, which had just about everything, and what a shame it was cut short and we were starved of the 2 minutes and 11 second shootout at the end there. But nonetheless, a super race for everybody to watch. In third place, number 8, Charlie Ratford. In second place, another super drive from number 7, Bryn Calder. And it's a second grand final win on the bounce for number 3, Maximilian Salarski. Put your hands together for the DRS 100 top 3. Our DRS 62 Academy top 3 in third place. Number 64, Cruz Dalton. In second place, 8th overall for the DRA plate, Bailey Wolf. Not here.
Sorry?
Not here.
John?
And today's winner, 6th place overall for the 105, the Academy champion for round 2, is Ashton Redpath.
Well done, Ash. Well done, mate.
Well done, boys. And finally, our DRS 62 Super Grand Final top 3. In third place, number 5, Nat Johnston. In second place, number 3, Oscar Walsh. And today's winner just did enough at the key times and the key moments of the grand final, the DRS plate of Jack Robinson. Our DRS DRS 62 top 3, everybody. And that's it from us here at round 2 of the Daniel Ricciardo series. We'll be back in a month's time when we travel to Wales, to Glanigors for round 3. We'll see you there.